Spring cleaning around the house is likely in full swing for many of us, but how about a spring body detox? Some believe this is the perfect time of year to make some changes, but what exactly should that entail? Joining me live right now is Dr. Joseph Mercola. Dr. Mercola, welcome. And before we get to it, I want to mention that you went to school pretty much from kindergarten all the way through college here in the area, huh?
Yeah, and even medical school and postgraduate residency training, all within the city limits. I am a native Chicagoan, but I live in Florida now because there's more sunshine.
There is more. That is so true. Well, anyway, it's great to be talking to you. It's always fun to talk to a Chicago native. Let's talk about detoxing, okay? We're bombarded with ads for products and diets to help people detox. I'm doing air quotes. Is any of that necessary? And do we even need to detox in that sense?
Well, not in that sense, but your body needs to detox. It's important because we live in a toxic soup. We're exposed to toxins perpetually. In fact, one of the most important toxins is you breathe in every day. It's even more than the ones you eat. So your body has these natural mechanisms. And one of the reasons spring is so important is because of the sunlight. We have more sun in the summer. So that facilitates many of our body's natural abilities, which really primarily originate to the liver. So we facilitate the liver's ability to eliminate these toxins.
Okay, so are there specific changes that happen seasonally besides that affect our health, or do we have to do more? For instance, do we have to drink more water? Do we have to change our diet? Kind of expound on best practices in that regard.
Well, for regulating body temperature, you certainly want to make sure you don't get dehydrated. So you have to drink enough water, and usually sweating is part of the process. So when you sweat, that's one of the most effective ways to eliminate these toxins. You can do that in a sauna, or you could take advantage of the sunshine. But with respect to the dietary changes, one of the most important is to make sure you don't eat processed foods or avoid all processed foods. And one of the reasons that's important is they're loaded with seed oils, and seed oils are probably the single most pernicious contribution to your health. And it's interesting because we've been told for so long, especially by the dermatologists, that when you should stay out of the sun, especially with solar noon, which in Chicago is 1 o'clock. In the summer. So if you go out there, you will get damage. There was some wisdom in avoiding that intense sun exposure at solar noon because of the seed oils that you're eating in your diet. And these seed oils are what actually causes and increases skin cancer, which is real, and photoaging of the skin, which can lead to wrinkles. So unless you're off of seed oils or processed foods for about 3 months, probably wise not to get a lot of direct sun exposure. But if you are, then you can get the sun exposure, and then you sweat and you drink enough water, and that facilitates your body's ability to detox.
I think there is a lot of confusion, though, doctor, over, like I had mentioned, these products that help you detox, these vitamins and whatnot. So best advice to people who might be thinking about buying something like that. Is it worth it, or should we just let our body do it naturally?
Well, for respect to there are some things that can be used, but those are specific ones, and it's difficult to give a general recommendation. But I think specifically for detox, though, if we're going to generalize, I think your body is best to do it naturally. Simply sweat and facilitate your body's ability to excrete the toxins, and make sure you're drinking enough water. But the key thing then too is because the liver is what does the
right.
Is the primary function to eliminate these toxins. And if you avoid the seed oils, you'll avoid one of the most common liver diseases is fatty liver disease, otherwise known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or many other names that's been given more recently. But this key thing is that those seed oils are what contributes to the fatty oils. So that's year round. You want to avoid those. So getting off of processed foods is probably the single most powerful intervention you can use to detox.
All right, that is some great spring detoxing advice for us all. Thanks so much, Dr. Mercola, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Dana.
And if you'd like to read more about spring detox, you can check out his book, Get Cure, Stop the Rot. And now we want to talk